In the early 2020s, Bankman-Fried was a crypto wunderkind, climbing the ranks of Bloomberg's Billionaires Index and donating huge sums to Democratic political campaigns. He was also an active contributor to effective altruism, the movement rooted in utilitarian philosophy that rationalizes the accumulation of enormous wealth. In 2019, he founded FTX Trading Limited, a large cryptocurrency exchange. But the firm collapsed in 2022 amid revelations of mismanagement. How it all started: after graduating from MIT in 2014, Sam Bankman-Fried took a job at the quantitative trading firm Jane Street. He was drawn to the idea of applying the analytical techniques he had learned in school to help make the world a better place, and started giving away money, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, to people doing good work. The bulk of this went to animal welfare organizations and the Center for Effective Altruism, a group that makes grants and works to support movements. He also donated a significant amount to political causes, giving millions of dollars in 2020 and 2022 to Democrats and helping them to win races. He gave to a wide variety of causes, favoring ones that would deliver future benefits to humanity, such as pandemic preparedness, over those that alleviated immediate suffering, like malaria nets. But in late 2022, the world around him imploded. As crypto prices crashed, the exchange he ran, FTX, filed for bankruptcy amid reports that it had commingled customer funds to cover margin calls and meet short-term debt obligations. Bankman-Fried's Twitter fight with a competitor and the discovery of these issues shook his reputation. In the aftermath, Bankman-Fried offered a mea culpa for his mistakes without fully grasping how serious they were. He told reporters that he had gotten a little cocky and wasn't spending enough time trying to manage risk on FTX, and insisted that he never tried to commit fraud. His fortunes haven't improved much since then. He's now under house arrest at his parents' California home, surrounded by redwoods and cacti, while his lawyers prepare for his trial in New York. His parents are working to bolster his spirits and provide financial support, but it's hard to know what they can do to prevent their son from becoming a global pariah. How he got started. At 30 years old, Sam Bankman-Fried was the boy wonder face of crypto, a founder of one of the world's biggest exchanges, a celebrated philanthropist worth an estimated $16 billion, and a major Democratic donor who quickly found favor in Washington. But in early November, the billionaire's empire and his image as a straight-talking brainiac devoted to effective altruism was suddenly on the verge of collapse. Sam grew up in Palo Alto, the son of two Stanford law professors who raised their children with utilitarian ideals. From an early age, he showed a talent for math puzzles and a disregard for toys and birthday parties, deciding that if he wanted to make money, he would rather use it to do good. After graduating from Stanford University, he worked at a hedge fund called Jane Street. But he was increasingly drawn to cryptocurrencies, which were rapidly rising in value. So, in 2017, he left to start Alameda Research, a crypto hedge fund that quickly made him millions. A few years later, he set up FTX in Hong Kong, a crypto derivatives exchange. The firm quickly grew to dominate its field, and in 2022, investors valued the company at $40 billion. At that point, Bankman-Fried's net worth soared to $24 billion, but the crypto market fell sharply halfway through the year, lowering his net worth to $8 billion by October 2022. But he's not done yet. From his home in the Bahamas, he makes regular trips to Washington to advocate for regulation of the industry. He also gives away millions in grants every year to researchers, think tanks, and social entrepreneurs working on issues like pandemic preparedness and global development. He believes that if the world is going to be saved, it's going to require many more people doing work that matters. That's why he's spending a lot of his time supporting young, up-and-coming philanthropists. He's the top individual donor to the Democratic run for Joe Biden's presidential campaign, and he has donated to candidates as far-flung as Liv Boehry, a professional poker player, and Rachel Glenister, the chief economist at the Department for International Development. How he's making money. The federal lawsuit against Bankman-Fried, who is charged with a series of securities and commodities frauds related to the collapse of his exchange FTX, alleges that the crypto entrepreneur stole more than $8 billion from his customers. The victims included Tom Brady and his supermodel wife Gisele Bündchen, the basketball star Steph Curry, a teacher's pension fund, oil billionaire Robert Belfer, tennis star Naomi Osaka, former Trump spokesman Anthony Scaramucci, and countless ordinary investors, including construction workers, small business owners, and college students. In his 30s, after leaving Jane Street and briefly working for the Center for Effective Altruism, Bankman-Fried began to focus on trading cryptocurrencies. He used the arbitrage strategies he'd learned to push the limits of what he could earn, and soon his firm Alameda Research LLC was making up to $1 million a day in profits. By the spring of 2019, Bankman-Fried owned FTX and the majority of Alameda, and his personal wealth topped $16 billion. He became the poster boy for the burgeoning industry, and his company's logo appeared on everything from Formula One race cars to Miami basketball arenas. He went on endless media tours and bragged about having a balance sheet that could buy Goldman Sachs. He was also a regular in DC, pledging to sink billions into Democratic political races. In 2022, he was one of the largest individual donors to US candidates, and he backed the cause of pandemic preparedness. He also gave to a variety of other charities, favoring projects with potential future payouts for humanity, such as vaccines, over those that would alleviate immediate suffering, such as malaria nets. In the weeks leading up to FTX's collapse, it became clear that the firm's massive losses were not sustainable. But as Ray worked to get a handle on the situation, Bankman-Fried was on a media tour promoting his version of events. By early December, he had been on the air and on Twitter more than 35 times. He was trying to convince a skeptical public that his firm was just in a temporary slump and that he was doing all that he could to rescue the company. How he's donating. When Sam Bankman-Fried became a billionaire, he promised to donate much of his fortune to charity. And he has, though it hasn't always been easy. He is guided by utilitarian philosophy and the guiding principles of effective altruism, an approach to charitable giving that seeks to maximize quantifiable benefits for others. But the collapse of his cryptocurrency exchange, FTX, and the revelation that he mixed FTX's own money with customer funds has thrown a wrench into those lofty plans. The founder of the firm now says he has shifted more than $30 million from his personal account to charity. He has also given tens of millions to political candidates, committees, and campaigns in this election cycle. But public campaign disclosure information and the details in a new federal indictment suggest that much of his funding has come from FTX and his hedge fund Alameda Research. Bankman-Fried has given mainly to Democratic candidates and committees, including $6 million to the House Majority PAC, which is run by his ex-wife, the former Deputy Chief of Staff for Vice President Mike Pence. He has also given to the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee and the leadership-aligned Senate Majority PAC, as well as to a number of other Democratic outside groups. He has also funded several PACs with tech world connections or that promise some sort of efficiency, such as vote tripling, which hired behavioral scientists to canvass voters and remind them to vote. And he has given to the Future Forward PAC, which is funded by a who's who of tech millionaires. But he has not yet given to any candidates or PACs that are closely aligned with his own political views, according to the indictment. It accuses him of skirting campaign finance laws by using his companies to funnel tens of millions in illegal donations through straw donors who are not named in the indictment but appear to be FTX employees such as Nishad Singh and Ryan Salame. Both are also suspected of violating securities law by selling shares of the company to raise money for their own philanthropic efforts.